These are your radical feminist icons. Mary Wollstonecraft, 1759 to 1797. British writer, philosopher, and advocate of women's rights. She forced her way into intellectual male circles due to having multiple affairs with them and other revolutionaries. Mary believed women should have the right to self-determination, make her own money, and have sexual freedom and reproductive freedom. Although she had a child out of wedlock, she did not suffer any societal pushback because she was politically active. Margaret Fuller, 1810-1850. She was an American journalist, editor, critic, translator, and a women's rights advocate associated with the Americans' Transcendental movement. She was the first person writing about gender abolition. She was part of the Transcendental Club and felt communism and humanity moving into the new age, and we need to get rid of the old gender roles. Goddess worship, witchcraft, veganism, vegetarianism, all comes out of these religious and philosophical ideas. So when you hear women refer to themselves as queen or goddess, it's very indicative of these ancient ideas of goddess worship and witchcraft, where women are using their sexuality to control and manipulate men. Elizabeth Cady Stanton, 1850 to 1902, a prominent suffragette who rewrote the first 5 books of the Bible with a feminist spin, and it's called The Woman's Bible. She wrote this with 39 other prominent feminists at the time. In the foreword, it reads, "Women will never have true liberation until we get rid of Christianity." Susan B. Anthony, an American writer and activist who was a leader of the women's rights movement, who, along with Cady Stanton, she also participated in rewriting the first 5 books of the Bible. She said, "The Bible and the church have been the greatest stumbling block in the way of women's emancipation." Matilda Jocelyn Gage, 1826 to 1898, an American writer and activist. She was the inspiration for the witches in the movie The Wizard of Oz. Because she was the mother-in-law of Frank L. Baum, who wrote the movie, she convinced Frank L. Baum that the witches were not that bad, that it is merely oppressed women fighting the patriarchy. Victoria Woodhull, 1838 to 1927, a spiritualist, suffragette, and a free love advocate who wanted to make sex outside of marriage mainstream, acceptable, and normal. She had a ring of prostitutes to sleep with and spy on Wall Street bankers to get information. She got a bunch of insider trading information via the prostitution ring. She then gave it to Cornelius Vanderbilt, and they took the stock market for hundreds of millions of dollars. Woodhull and Vanderbilt single-handedly engineered the first stock market crash and profited off of it through her intelligence gathering. Simone de Beauvoir, 1908 to 1986, a French existentialist, philosopher, writer, social theorist, and feminist activist. Beauvoir declared, "No woman should be authorized to stay at home to raise her children. Society should totally be different. Women should not have that choice, precisely because if there is such a choice, too many women will take that one." She went on to assert, as long as the family and the myth of the family and the myth of maternity and the maternal instinct is not destroyed, women will still be oppressed. Katie Millett, 1934 to 2017, an American feminist writer, educator, artist, and activist. She wrote the book The Bible of Women's Liberation. Millett's stated objective was the destruction of the nuclear family, as she deemed it a patriarchal institution devoted to oppression and enslavement of women and children. She would often attend consciousness raising sessions in New York, where they sought out ways to normalize every taboo in Western culture: pornography, promiscuity, witchcraft, pedophilia, Satanism, bestiality, and polygamy. Carol Hainish, born in 1942, a radical feminist activist. Hainish explains in the influential 1970s essay entitled "The Personal is Political," quote, "The very point of feminism in the mid-20th century was to make happy women less happy." Hainish stated, "One of the first things we saw was that the personal problems are political problems." She believed individuals could not fix systemic injustice. Moreover, she believed women should organize politically to solve their personal problems. Kimberly Crenshaw, born in 1959, age 64, an American civil rights advocate and a leading scholar of the critical race theory. She coined the term intersectionality. She explains that intersectionality was my attempt to make feminism, anti-racism activism, and anti-discrimination law do what I thought they should, which is highlight the multiple avenues through which racial and gender oppression were experienced.